So, Elana,
Yes.
you have declared firmly that you are not going to read the opening benediction
I knew you were going to bring that
to
up.
this episode. You at dinner, you declared that you were not going to read this.
I didn't declare. I said, please don't make me.
Please don't make you. And I'm not sure which one you don't want to read. Do you not want to read, now this Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom, from 2 Corinthians 3:17? Or did you not want to read, to you, Lord, we sing your praise, for family, friends, and holidays. You give us all we have today, freedom, food, fun, love. Hooray! Which one didn't you not want to read?
Yes.
Welcome back to Deep in Bear Country, a Berenstain Bearcast. I am your host, Phil Gonzalez, and as you are probably aware, my guest this week, once again, is the incredible, the amazing, you all know her, you all love her, Elana. Hello, Elana.
Hi, Phil.
And that, of course, means that we are once again covering the Berenstain Bears Holiday Cookbook. We are up to what holiday now?
4th of July.
And we are late because
We had to make the recipes on the 4th of July.
Yeah, we had to serve them on the 4th. Didn't have time to record an episode. I recorded another episode. Now we are covering the 4th of July. And for those of you who don't live in America, you don't even care. So, Elana, what can you tell me about the 4th of July? Anything?
Comes on July 4th every year.
Yes, and it celebrates what independence? American independence.
I didn't know I was getting a pop quiz. You didn't pop quiz me about the other holidays.
I did not. Because I don't know. I wanted to know, did you have, when you were growing up, did you do fireworks? What did you do on 4th of July? Anything?
I could see fireworks out of the second-story window in my parents' bedroom.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's good enough. We shot off fireworks in the street because we were, what? You.
No, I just remember that once when I was pretty little, we went out. I was on Long Island, so we went out on someone's boat to watch fireworks. But it turned out that we were so close to the fireworks that the ash was falling on us. And also, I was little, and they were very loud, and I was very scared. But I was on a boat, so I could not leave or do anything. So that was less good than being in my parents' bedroom watching them from a distance.
I do recall the first time I ever saw fireworks in person, and they are far louder and more present than you think they're going to be from like television. They're like right there up on you when you're right there in the field. So yes, happy 4th of July, everyone. Happy belated 4th. It's the country's birthday, the 4th of July, and Bear Country celebrates in style. So Mama's decorated the house, brother, sister, and honey have decorated their bikes. Papa's unpacked his old military uniform because he is a veteran to wear in the parade. Everyone's excited, but they're going to have a picnic on Main Street. Miss Ursula is going to make sloppy joes. Mama's going to make lemonade, or she's thirsty for lemonade. Brother and sister are hoping Papa makes his specialty, which is a bunch of beans. And that's the plot. That's the entire plot.
Which is about equal to what all the other plots are for the other holidays.
I can't say I shudder to think of Papa ingesting an entire pot of beans.
He doesn't hear it's clearly a potluck situation.
Right, but I can also see Papa ingesting an entire pot of beans. So we made a few recipes, and you actually made one of these. You made yourself.
And one of them Mitzi made.
I was like, I'm not having any of this. I'm done. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, you were.
I was just not.
You're unpatriotic.
Full disclosure, 4th of July is my least favorite holiday out of all of these. I have no personal feelings about it whatsoever, which is weird because I was born in 1976. I am a bicentennial baby. So you'd think that it would be ingrained in me, but it's not, to love the 4th of July. No, I have no strong feelings about the 4th, so it was just hard for me to get any enthusiasm.
You like it less than fall festivities?
Fall festivities includes
That's
Halloween.
The next holiday.
Of course I love fall festivities. This holiday involved buying a lot of fruit that kind of added up. And
it did not.
It kind of
did not.
If I had done everything...
We're not having this conversation again.
It would have added up.
Let's talk about the recipes.
Let's talk about the recipes. Let's talk about the 4th of July. Let's talk about you and I. What do we start with
Stars and Stripes Bites, which is actually like a 2 different recipes packaged together. They're 2 pretty different recipes. They like kind of look the same, which must be why they're packaged together, but they're very different recipes. And I ended up making them together, and they were our dinner and dessert one night, which is not terrible, actually.
It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So describe the Stars and Stripes bites for our listeners.
So you make them in a cookie tray,
Mm-hmm.
a rimmed cookie tray, and you make them look like a flag. So the one that I think the most looks like the flag is the blue is made by blueberries, and then the red and white stripes are strawberries and then yogurt-covered pretzels, and it reasonably looks like you can definitely tell
if you
stripes.
glanced at it, you'd be like, oh, that's supposed to be an American flag.
Yeah, totally. And then there is also, you say maybe sweet and savory. Then there's another one that was cauliflower and red pepper to make the stripes, and then blue corn chips, which actually worked pretty well. And then we did refried beans or something in there for a little protein, and that was actually a pretty good dinner.
The recipe calls for fruit or veggie dip on the side, but we didn't even bother with that. We just had refried beans as a side.
It was really good.
It was very filling.
Yeah.
And
it was actually really easy. What I liked about it, like in the other times we've done these holidays, this would go in the category of arts and crafts recipes. Like, it's not really a recipe.
Right.
But I had some cauliflower I had actually just bought at the farmer's market, like not even thinking about this recipe. And like, it was just really easy, and it was healthy, and it made it feel fun. Like, to me, that's the best. Some of the other recipes in this book that are in the arts and crafts category are sort of fussy. Like, do you want to cut a fruit strip to look like the racing stripe of a car? Like, what?
For no reason.
Doing things with toothpicks. This is just like how you'd arrange them.
Right. And a little kid could do this.
Oh, totally.
Pretty confidently.
Yeah, we were having people over, and I actually suggested we could just make this all together as like an arts and crafts project. Yeah, I think this was great. I would totally make this again. It was really fun. It's one of the things that has sometimes bothered me about this cookbook is most of it isn't kid friendly. This is absolutely kid friendly.
Yeah, and if your kid likes red peppers, which a lot of kids do, you've got like you said, you've got a meal right here. This is
totally
essentially
do.
a meal.
Yeah, I think we also maybe put some guac or something. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thumbs up.
That's the Stars and Stripes bite, and thematically appropriate. Looks like American flags. And if you live in another country or you live in a state, you can probably find other fruits to make your own
I don't know why you
flags.
do the 4th of July chapter. I also have to say that I thought the blue corn chips was pretty creative. Like, I wouldn't have thought of that for a blue food that could go with the vegetables. So this was actually, I think, one of the more creative recipes in the whole book.
And I would say if you wanted to, you could take 50 individual bits of feta cheese and make it the stars on your blue corn chips.
We thought about, Mitzi suggested taking little bits of cauliflower to make the stars, but we did not do that.
Or you can use old moldy blueberries, and that'll probably do the same thing for the blueberries. So Stars and Stripes bites, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Totally. Yeah.
What's next?
Ooh, this one was work, but good. This is the one that Mitzi made. This is sparkling raspberry lemonade, and it's not what you'd think.
It's not. It's really interesting.
It is. It's homemade lemonade, which was quite sweet, and
Very
homemade
sweet.
like make a simple syrup by heating up sugar and water and stirring a lot, not like just dump some sugar in a pitcher. Like, it was
this
some
isn't just
steps. You
lemon
had to use
juice
the
and
stove.
sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it is just lemon juice and sugar, but you prep the sugar.
Yeah. 1.5 cups of lemon juice. Like, that's a lot.
1.5 cups of lemon juice,
And
1.5
then-
cups of sugar.
Right. Well, you take equal parts sugar and water, which was 1.5 cups of each, and you make them into which is the only way to really dissolve sugar. So you have to make it ahead. That was the other thing. Like, you have to plan ahead, because you have to make that, let it cool, add it to the fresh lemon juice, and then it says to add 2 cups of sparkling water. The challenge with that was, once you've done that, then if you don't drink it all on the spot, you've got like defizzing sparkling.
Right.
And I think in the end, it also was still kind of sweet. So I think if we were going to make this again, the lemonade part, we'd calibrate a little differently and maybe add the fizz at the end.
But it's definitely a party drink, so you were intended to sort of like have the concentrate there, I think, and then pour drinks as people come.
That's definitely not what the recipe says.
No, but the recipe also doesn't show the
No, that's not the direction. I'm talking about the directions for the recipe. So then the part that it's called sparkling raspberry lemonade, you might be saying, where are the raspberries?
Where are the raspberries?
The raspberries are in the ice cubes, of which they are plentiful, because there are still many more in our freezer. And that is, again, a simple syrup. and then a pint of raspberries.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that you have to make this the night before you make the lemonade, which is true.
Yes.
But this is like for a drink. This is like
lot
the
of work.
most planning ahead.
But you're prepping for your 4th of July party.
There you go. Yeah. So, and again, Mitzi made this one, which was pretty great. But you have to cook the raspberries. First, you cook the water and sugar together to make another simple syrup. Then you add the raspberries. You don't. So when I've made raspberry syrup in the past, you usually put it through a sieve so you get all the seeds out. You don't do that. And then you just put it in ice cube trays, and then you add the raspberry ice cubes to the lemonade. And so what happened is you just had lemonade with red ice cubes, which were very red and very pretty, but it wasn't what we thought from the title, and the picture is completely misleading.
Not at all what you.
And then as they melted, they kind of turned into raspberry mush with a lot of seeds left on the bottom of your glass.
Now,
but the idea of taking the seeds out would have been so much extra work.
I didn't mind just because it was novel and it really changed the flavor of the lemonade to me. It was way too sweet.
It was so sweet.
I would say it was way too sweet. So I would have
I mean, they were basically popsicles. It was almost like putting a popsicle in your lemonade. It was sweet popsicle in your sweet lemonade.
But there is something really cool about the raspberry cubes and then the fizzy lemonade. Like, I don't know, it was a different drink than I was
fun.
anticipating.
Yeah. No, I could see making this again for an occasion, but doing it a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or a variation thereof. Try different fruits, I guess. Blackberries or currants. I don't know. Think about it. Can you put currants in ice cubes?
So the next recipe is firework fruit explosion. It's literally a fruit salad, but it has a recipe.
It is just a pile of fruit. It's a
fruit salad. That's what a fruit salad is.
I mean, when I was a kid, I guess I grew up in the South. Fruit salad in the South always had some kind of dressing on it. So
what?
Yeah, there was like a sweet dressing you would put on fruit salad.
Like I don't pour on it.
You would like you would stir it up into it.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a I don't even know what it was made. You'd ask my mom when she comes and visits.
No, okay.
Yeah, fruit salad was always.
Well, this is what I would call a fruit salad.
I would call this bowl of fruit, but that's literally all it is. You can put sugar on it if you want, but you can stick American flags in it, and that's what makes it a 4th of July treat, I guess. That's it. It's just it says add mini flags to the salad for a festive 4th of July look.
And the recipe, it has an actual recipe, which is a little odd. And actually a little bit of work because it includes a sectioned orange, which is always a pain.
Mm.
It includes kiwi, which is here anyway, not in season during July. It includes pineapple, which you're going to get like out of a can. And then strawberries and blueberries and grapes and bananas. So it's actually kind of a shopping list.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a shopping list. And at the end of the day, it's just a pile of fruit.
And the sugar is optional, but the miniature flag toothpicks aren't required.
They are required.
Not optional.
As is a little lemon juice to keep things looking fresh.
Right.
But that's it. Sprinkle with sugar, white or brown.
Keeping what fresh? That's weird because there's no apple, which is usually what browns. And the kiwi and the pineapple both are citrus, which would keep everything. I don't think.
Funny you mentioned there's no apple because there's clearly apple in the photograph.
Yep.
There's clearly apple in the photograph. But we did not make the firework fruit explosion.
And I don't think that's pineapple. I think that's peach.
Yeah.
But anyway, we didn't make it.
We didn't make it. Neither did they, apparently.
Right.
What is the next recipe?
The next one is Bear Country pot of beans. I almost made this. It's a slow cooker recipe, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like they call it crock pot. And it has bacon in it, which is the first problem because we don't need bacon.
We don't need bacon.
And you take 2 big cans of baked beans and then add stuff to it. A lot of which is both molasses and brown sugar.
Right.
And then mustard and tomatoes and onion. And then optional ham. And so I almost did it because I was kind of curious. But I also was like, but you're just taking baked beans and making them baked beanier? Like,
I know.
Understand.
You're literally adding the ingredients of baked beans to baked beans.
Right. So I was like, well, maybe I would add just like regular pinto beans and slow cook them. I'm like, but then I'm making baked beans from scratch. Like it just didn't.
I'm wondering if that's what they meant, but you can't buy a 28-ounce can of
No, it's
just
definitely
pinto.
cheap.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't know. I mean, it might be really good,
but also, as you have said in the past, you cannot substitute anything with bacon
Yeah,
just
4
doesn't work.
slices. That's
It
I
asks
think
for a
kind of
lot
good
of
amount.
bacon,
Yeah.
and as you say, like if you want that, nothing captures the flavor and the fattiness and the
Salt and
it's
the-
there
yeah.
for a reason, and we couldn't. It just wouldn't be the same. It would just be really
And
sweet
I mean,
baked
beans already are kind of sweet. To add more
Yeah.
molasses and more brown sugar, I just was
Right.
not
But-
up for that. So we didn't make it. But
You're
it,
right.
it seems
Oh,
like
plus
it could be
we
good.
would have had to have gotten someone to loan us a crock pot that was the right size.
Yeah,
because
'cause
our
mine's
crock pot's
too
too
big.
big. So
Yeah.
sorry, Bear Country pot of beans. Sorry, Papa Bear.
But if someone else wants to make it,
Go right
and
ahead.
give a review. I'd
We
be
would
very
never tell
interested.
you not to make something. Next,
So-
hey.
Celebration Sloppy Joes. You made these.
I made these. So I've never made sloppy joes before. Again, we don't eat meat in the house, but I substituted a pound of lean ground beef with a pound of fake ground beef, which is a fairly good substitute.
Yeah.
And it's onion, green bell peppers. It's a recipe. This is an actual like recipe. I had to, do all the fixins and mix all the stuff together and slowly simmer for 30 minutes and yada, 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 this, that, and the other thing. And at the end of the day, it made pretty decent sloppy joes.
Eh.
They weren't well, they were more crumbly than sloppy.
Yeah, the only liquid in it is 3/4 of a cup of ketchup, which has cooked off by the time.
Yeah.
So it's not. It was just crumbly.
Right. I thought they tasted fine.
They were okay.
I'm not a fan of the sloppy joe anyway. I don't.
Mitzi and I both got stomach aches, but I think that was from the.
That's from the fake meat.
Yeah.
We all know that's from the fake meat. So
Yeah.
I assume if you make it with real ground beef, it might be moister, it might be sloppier. I don't know. As a child, I had an aversion to sloppy joes. I did not like being messy. I didn't like things falling on my hands.
We were just talking about the crock pot. This was a while ago, but I made a big crock pot of vegan sloppy joe many years ago by now, several years ago.
Mhm.
And I remember it being
That was
great.
very good. Yeah.
It was really good, but it was definitely wetter. But that's what a sloppy joe is supposed to be.
Hence the name,
Yeah.
Sloppy Joseph.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one on the recipe list
This
is...
one made you mad. That makes me smile.
I hate
think it was
this
funny.
so much.
I know, it makes you feel like you feel affronted by it.
This is the worst.
It's red, white, and blue banana split.
And what makes it red, white, and blue?
It is literally red, white, and blue. I don't
No,
know what
I
you
didn't
have
say it
against it.
didn't.
It is more strawberries. They're kind of in luck with this because strawberries and blueberries are in season and are red and blue. And then the white is vanilla ice cream. And then it's on top of a banana with chocolate sauce drizzled
Listeners,
on it.
I want you to envision a banana split. And now envision a banana split with the prerequisite 3 scoops of ice cream. But imagine that each scoop of ice cream is the size of a strawberry.
Phil, no one forced you to make that.
No, but this is the pictures they show. It's an anemic banana split.
The lemonade didn't look like the picture.
Alana is angry at how much I dislike this picture of a banana
No,
split.
you're angry.
I hate it so much. I just like...
It's even got chocolate drizzle on it.
It does have drizzle, but I'm just like, that's not a banana.
I think you're upset that there's no whipped cream.
There's no whipped cream. There's no cherry on top. It's not a banana split so much as a banana being visited by some of the ingredients of a better banana split. Happy 4th of July, everyone. What's the final recipe for the 4th of July?
The final recipe is the reason that this is recorded as late as it is, because this is a recipe that said serves 8 to 10, but I think it served like 12 to 15. And there was no way we were making this until we had people to help us eat it, which we did, and everyone enjoyed it. It is the Freedom Trifle. You even had to buy a bowl.
I had to buy a bowl to make the trifle.
It was a centerpiece dessert.
It was an undertaking because, okay, so if you don't know what a trifle is, what is a trifle? It's like a parfait like writ large.
Yeah, right.
It's just
on steroids.
Yeah, it's a parfait in a huge bowl, and this recipe calls for 1 pre-made angel food cake or pound cake.
Or pound cake. This would have actually been a lot better with pound cake.
Maybe, but
no, definitely.
When I was buying ingredients, they did not have either pre-made cake. Their pre-made cakes were very limited. Or there was one, but it was like $25, and I was not going to buy it. So I had to buy angel food cake mix and make my own angel food cake, and I was proud of myself. I didn't use the recipe on the box. I used one of those like, here's how professional bakers use cake mix to make it taste even better. And I have to say, it tasted better than I thought it would, even though we're not fans of angel food cake.
It didn't, yeah.
I had to make 2 packages for vanilla pudding, and then strawberries, blueberries, and then you just sort of arrange it in like layers, and then you put it in the fridge for a while, and it's a dish. And everyone wanted it, and no one wanted to stop eating it. Everyone just wanted to keep eating the trifle.
I was going to say the opposite. Everyone had someone said, I don't need to eat anything else for 2 weeks.
But everyone kept talking about it. Like threatening to come back to the house and finish the trifle. Eventually, it did get a bit soggy. Why do you think pound cake would have worked better?
It's denser, and it also has flavor. The angel food, so what eventually happened with the leftovers is everyone picked out everything except for the cake. It was very clear that no one wanted to eat
the cake got wet after a while. It was watery wet.
Well, okay, so also in addition to everything, this is topped with fresh whipped cream, which doesn't keep.
Right.
So, the berries and cream I thought were great. The vanilla pudding out of the box tasted like vanilla pudding out of the box, and in spite of your best efforts, I still think the angel food cake it didn't taste like
But it
much.
tasted better than it would have.
We don't.
I had to separate eggs.
That's how you make an angel. That's angel
not
food.
According to the box. The box didn't.
You're
call
kidding
for
me.
them.
What?
Yeah, the box has
That's
it all cooked in.
That's
this
what
is like
an angel food cake is.
Right, but it's a cheap, quick. So that's why never mind.
Okay.
I also thought that the recipe called for 2 to 3 4-ounce packages of pudding.
Oh, I can see that, but it's 3.4 ounce. But I can see that. I can see why you would think that.
3.4 ounce. So I bought 4 boxes because I was like, well, these aren't 4-ounce packages. I need to buy an extra box. So I bought 4 boxes so we have extra. If anyone out there wants to come over for pudding, I'll make it. I have 2 extra boxes. Yeah, maybe I will try this with pound cake. Pound cake's also a lot dense. It's a lot heavier as far as calories go. So maybe
it was very heavy regardless.
Or layer it with biscuits like a strawberry shortcake, because not the Johnny cake, not Johnny cakes, like the strawberry shortcake cake.
Right, but the whole point of those, a trifle sits, and it's supposed to be the sum is more than the whole is more than the sum of the parts. You know what I mean? It's supposed to become its own thing, like bread pudding you bake, and then it's something. You know what I mean? It's
maybe lady fingers, a whole bunch of lady fingers.
I mean, that's you make tiramisu.
Then you're just making tiramisu, I guess. Or
well,
maybe you should just make tiramisu. That's a good one.
They're trying to stay on brand.
4th of July tiramisu.
Yeah. So anyway, I actually have to say that I was looking forward to this chapter because the recipes on balance were things that I thought we'd want to eat. They didn't seem wackadoodle on the unhealthy scale.
A lot of fruit.
And really the only fruit you were going on and on about it, but the only thing we skipped was the fruit salad. And
That's
you actually bought because you were worried about the recipe. We had so much extra fruit that we could have made the fruit salad with it.
Right. I mean, ultimately, yeah.
I think you were just concerned about juggling so much.
There was a lot of fruit, and
that made me happy. I thought it was great.
I know, but it's that thing with berries where you buy berries, and if you don't use them in the right time, then you just got a bunch of old berries. You know, strawberries are finicky. They don't like to sit around in the fridge. They go old. Alana looks completely lost.
I'm trying to decide if I should tell you that I took the old ones and tucked them into the trifle, and they kind of rehydrated, and everyone ate them happily without knowing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our household is one of secrets. And
I don't like food waste. Did you know that food waste is one of the top environmental problems?
We do have to be careful sometimes, making sure that things. Never mind. You just gotta be careful in the house sometimes. Mitzi and I are very sensitive about eating food that's been in a dumpster or thrown on a compost pile.
Sorry,
but you gotta check sometimes. You're like, wait, is this the orange I threw away last week? And Alana will be like, could be. So that's part of life. But Elana is wonderful, and she's great in the kitchen, and she is an incredible person. And if it wasn't for her, we'd probably throw away way more food than we end up doing because I'm freaked out by old food. So that's literally that's the book. That's part of this. That's our chapter is the 4th of July. And we had friends over, and they ate trifle. and we took a walk. It was
the other thing
nice
that was
4th of
funny is
July.
we planned on serving the sparkling raspberry lemonade to everyone because we thought that would be a super fun drink. And
Yeah.
we even thought, like, wonder if you could add, like, a little something to it. And then all of a sudden you were like, wait, it says yield 4 servings. And there's already 3 of us without inviting anyone over. And you're like,
Right.
oh, no, that won't work. Well, then it turned out that it made a ton, especially because it really needed more. Oh, it wasn't, I forgot to mention, it also wasn't that fizzy. So not only was it too sweet, it wasn't that fizzy. So just adding more sparkling water would have solved both of those problems.
Yeah.
Plus, I would say we probably had 6 servings, and then adding more would have been even more. So that part was, it was just unfortunate that we didn't, like, they were trying to be clear about the serving size, but they didn't say, I guess, how big the glasses would be. The picture is not a large glass.
But we did learn that this recipe makes really good Arnie Palmers. Because
that's true. I had homemade iced tea.
You cut that in half with
That's what
homemade
we ended
iced
up doing
tea,
with it.
and it made a
And
great
we had
Arnie
so much
Palmer.
left over that, gosh, how many Arnie Palmers do you think we had? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, there were a lot of
Yeah.
Arnie Palmers that night. So
That
if
was
you're looking
really
for
good.
a good Arnie Palmer lemonade recipe, the Berenstain Bears have you covered, baby. And it's not even alcoholic, so Cubs can drink it too.
Yeah.
Arnie Grizzler or whatever they would call
Well,
it.
and I also think that with the Stars and Stripes bites, those were really creative and easy.
Yeah.
The lemonade was not easy, but it was unique and really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, maybe it's sort of balanced by, the crock pot and the trifle are make ahead things, the beans in the crock pot. So it's actually like more than the other ones. I could imagine, like, the premise is that it's like the potluck for the town. Like, this kind of feels like that.
I was going to say this
I
chapter
think this was
feels
a strong chapter.
It feels more of a whole. Like this is an
Yeah.
actual spread you could put out.
Right. The Easter chapter was like a panini and mashed potatoes and a shake and then roasted carrots that
Yeah.
like that was just and a
Salad.
It was just a weird mix. Like this one, it felt like it landed.
Yeah.
I give this chapter a thumbs up.
Well, Elana, what is the next chapter in our
No, you're not gonna see me
recipe
for a
extravaganza?
while.
It's going to be a little bit.
I guess it depends. I guess it depends on when we think it's fall.
I know, but what is it called?
It's called fall festivities.
It sure is. It is not Thanksgiving. It is not Halloween. It is fall festivities.
Yeah, and the first recipe has trick or treat in the title, but it
Yes.
is fall.
It's just fall. I don't know why.
And then this is pretty funny. And then the next recipe has a candy corn in it, and then the next recipe has something that you have to cut to look like jack-o'-lanterns. But it's really just about the generic season of the fall.
It's really just about the fall. There's all kinds of and then the next one is Thanksgiving. I don't know why they didn't just call this Halloween.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, because then there's one with black cats and bats and
Except that it's again a Zonder kids book. Maybe there's rules about Halloween. I don't know.
So anyway, yeah, that's when we're back. It's
That's
gonna be
when
a
we're back.
while.
We say it's going to be a while. It's going to feel like nothing
Oh no!
because
Don't say
this
that.
this summer is whipping by.
Wait, stop it.
Well, Elana, if our listeners are looking for more material from you, where can they find you?
Nope.
Nothing? Absolutely not. Maybe swing by, I don't know, our house if you want to see us.
I say boring stuff related to my work,
was
or
gonna
not
say-
boring, depending on what you think of my work. But
Sometimes Elana gets big awards
yeah, we don't.
for her work in the government, so she's CIA. So you'll never see her coming. So, well, thank you so much for everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for putting up with us while we talk about food we cook that you can't taste. Thank you, Elana, for being here once again.
Always my pleasure.
Is it?
Yes.
And everyone else out there, I will see you all next time, deep in Bear Country.
You didn't talk about your hair.
Look at my hair.